Peace doesn't disappear. You trade it. Peace doesn't disappear. You trade it. You trade it for the need to be right, for the endless scroll, for the weight of grudges you call protection. You trade it every time you say yes when your soul screams no. You trade it for noise, for attention, validation, distraction, and you call it living, but deep down you know, peace was never taken from you. It was given away little by little, through habits so familiar you no longer see them. This reflection is not about what the world does to you. It's about what you do to yourself. Because peace isn't lost in one big moment. It slips away quietly through the small choices you repeat every day. So take a breath and let's uncover the habits that quietly destroy your peace so you can finally begin to protect it again. Chapter 1. Constant complaining. The meaning, the habit that trains your mind for misery. Complaining feels harmless, a sigh, a sentence, a shared frustration. But over time, it becomes a pattern that rewires the mind to search for what's wrong instead of what's working. Every complaint, spoken or silent, is an agreement with negativity. It convinces your brain that life is unfair, that you're powerless, that peace is out of reach. But peace is not stolen, it's surrendered, one complaint at a time. The Stoics taught that suffering multiplies when we resist what already is. Every time you complain, you reject reality instead of responding to it. You don't need to love everything, but you can choose not to feed the fire. Because complaining doesn't change life, it only changes you. The practice, reclaiming power through awareness. Start by observing your speech for a single day. Notice how often complaints slip through your lips or thoughts. Not to judge, just to become aware. Then each time you catch one, pause and ask, what solution or gratitude can replace this? Replace, I hate traffic with I have time to breathe. Replace, I'm exhausted with I'm grateful to have a body that works. This is not denial, it's direction. Your words are steering your emotional state every moment. When you shift from complaint to gratitude, you're not pretending. You're reclaiming control over your inner climate. Gratitude doesn't erase problems. It restores perspective. Speak peace into your world, and peace begins to grow there. The pause. A meditative reflection. Close your eyes and imagine your words as seeds falling to the ground. Some grow flowers, others grow thorns. Now think of your last complaint. Feel how heavy it made your body. Then picture yourself pulling that thought from the soil and replacing it with one word of gratitude. Watch the energy shift instantly. Softer, lighter, freer. Whisper gently, I choose peace over complaint. Feel how that choice changes your breathing. Your peace depends not on what happens, but on what you repeat. The world is neutral until you name it. So name it with care. Name it with hope. And ask yourself, how much peace have I lost by rehearsing what went wrong instead of celebrating what went right? Chapter 2. Addiction to social media. The meaning, living in everyone's life but your own. The world has never been so loud. You wake up, reach for your phone, and before your feet even touch the ground, you're already living in other people's lives. Their smiles, their vacations, their victories, all perfectly filtered illusions that quietly tell you you're behind. Social media promises connection, but often delivers comparison. You scroll for comfort and end up feeling empty. The constant stimulation numbs your mind, fragments your attention, and steals your peace one notification at a time. You think you're resting, but you're actually running endlessly through other people's stories. The truth is simple. You cannot find stillness while your mind is addicted to noise. And peace can't live in a heart that never pauses long enough to listen. The practice, reclaiming presence from the screen. Start by noticing why you reach for your phone. Is it boredom? Loneliness? The fear of missing out? Awareness is the first step toward freedom. Then create sacred distance. Keep your phone outside the bedroom. Replace the morning scroll with stillness, music, or sunlight on your face. Every time you resist the urge to check, you reclaim a piece of your mind. You're not missing out on life. You're finally re-entering it. Schedule digital Sabbaths, hours or even a full day without social media. Watch how your thoughts grow quieter, your senses sharper, your emotions lighter. Technology was meant to serve you, not own you. When you stop reaching for the screen, you start reaching for yourself again. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes. Picture yourself standing in silence, your phone lying on a table beside you. Feel the itch in your fingers, the restlessness in your chest. That's withdrawal, not from connection, but from distraction. Now breathe. Let the silence stretch. Notice that the world is still turning, even when you're not scrolling. You are not behind. You are right here. Whisper softly, I return to my own life. Feel the peace that follows, subtle, deep, familiar. Because underneath the noise, you were never disconnected. You were just distracted, and peace was waiting quietly for your attention to return home. Chapter 3, Holding Grudges. The meaning, carrying poison and calling it protection. Anger feels powerful at first, like armor. You tell yourself the grudge keeps you safe, that remembering the hurt will prevent it from happening again. But holding on doesn't protect you. It poisons you. Resentment is the illusion of control over what's already gone. Each time you replay the past, you reopen the wound and call it survival. But peace and pain cannot share the same space. Forgiveness is not approval, it's release. You forgive not because they deserve peace, but because you do. You can't walk forward while staring backward. And every day you carry resentment, you trade a piece of your peace for a memory that no longer serves your growth. Letting go isn't weakness, it's choosing freedom over attachment. The practice, releasing what no longer belongs to you. Begin by naming the weight you've been carrying. Say their name, the situation, the betrayal. Bring it to light. Then take a deep breath and ask yourself, what does this anger cost me? How many nights of peace? How many moments of joy? How much energy spent keeping old pain alive? Now imagine placing that hurt in your hands. See it for what it truly is. Heavy, draining, done. Whisper, I choose to release you. You don't have to feel ready. You only have to be willing. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's freeing yourself from being emotionally chained to what cannot be changed. Each breath of release creates room for healing. And peace rushes in softly once there's finally space for it to stay. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes. Picture yourself standing beside a calm lake at dawn. In your hands, you hold a small stone, the symbol of your grudge. Now imagine dropping it into the water. Watch it sink, ripples expanding outward until the surface becomes still again. That stillness is your heart without resentment. Whisper gently, I no longer carry what doesn't belong to me. Feel how light your body becomes. The past doesn't need your anger. It needs your understanding. Peace doesn't come when others apologize. It comes when you decide to stop bleeding for what's already over. Take a slow breath and ask yourself, how much more of my life am I willing to give to what already ended? Chapter 4, Chasing Validation. And the meaning, the endless search for approval. Few habits drain peace more quietly than the need to be approved. You shape your words to please, your choices to impress, your silence to avoid disapproval until you no longer recognize your own reflection. Validation feels like love, but it's dependency disguised as connection. You wait for permission to rest, to speak, to feel enough. And the more you seek it, the emptier you become. Peace cannot coexist with performance. When your worth depends on applause, your spirit becomes restless, always scanning, always performing, never arriving. The truth is, you don't need anyone's approval to be at peace. You only need your own alignment, that quiet moment when your heart whispers, this is me, and that is enough. Itu. The practice, returning to self-validation. Every time you catch yourself seeking approval, pause and ask, whose acceptance am I chasing right now, and why? Awareness breaks the spell. Then redirect your focus inward. List the things you've done with integrity, even when no one noticed. List the ways you've shown courage, kindness, or patience. Let those truths become your validation. If you've done what's right for your soul, you've already succeeded. Learn to sit in silence without reaching for validation through screens or praise. In that silence, something remarkable happens. Self-respect begins to grow roots. It's not arrogance, it's self-recognition. Peace blooms when you stop auditioning for love and start remembering you already have it. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes and picture yourself standing on a stage. Rows of faces watch you, waiting for your next move. Now imagine stepping down, walking past them, and out the back door into the quiet night. Above you, stars. No clapping, no judgment, just stillness. That's peace. Whisper softly, I no longer perform for acceptance. Feel how your shoulders drop, how your breath deepens. In that moment you realize your value was never a vote. It was truth all along. When you stop chasing approval, you start attracting authenticity. The right people, opportunities, and experiences will find you when you no longer beg to be seen. Ask yourself, how much of my peace have I traded just to be liked by those who never truly saw me? Chapter 5. Avoiding decisions. The meaning, the silent prison of indecision. Peace cannot survive in a mind that refuses to choose. Indecision feels safe, but it's not safety, it's stagnation. You tell yourself you're waiting for clarity, but in truth, you're waiting for certainty, and certainty never comes. Every time you avoid a decision, you delay your own evolution. The weight you feel isn't confusion, it's the cost of postponing truth. Life doesn't demand perfection, it demands participation. Even a wrong step teaches faster than standing still. Indecision drains energy because it keeps the mind split, half in fear, half in fantasy. You can't walk two paths at once. The peace you crave is waiting, not at the end of your decision, but on the other side of making one. The practice, choosing presence over perfection. Start small. Pick one decision you've been avoiding, a conversation, a plan, a boundary, and bring it into the light. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? The choice itself or its consequences? Often fear isn't about the outcome, it's about the loss of control. But clarity comes after movement, not before it. Write down the options and the truth you already know deep inside. Then act, even gently, even imperfectly. Remember, peace comes from congruence, not comfort. When your actions align with your inner knowing, calm returns. The universe can't direct a still ship. Once you decide, life begins to rearrange itself around that courage. Every decision is a declaration. I trust myself enough to move forward. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes. Picture a fork in the road before you. One path labeled fear, the other faith. You've been standing there for too long, staring, analyzing, doubting. Now imagine yourself taking one quiet step forward, not knowing everything, but trusting enough. The ground feels steady. The air feels lighter. Peace returns, not because the path is easy, but because you are no longer stuck. Whisper softly, I choose clarity over confusion. Feel your heartbeat steady as decision turns into direction. Remember, hesitation is heavy, but movement is medicine. You were not made to live paused between possibilities. Take the step, even if it's small. Ask yourself, what would my life feel like if I trusted my next step instead of fearing my next mistake? Chapter 6. Overthinking everything. The meaning, the illusion of control. You call it being careful, but it's really being captive. Overthinking masquerades as wisdom. You tell yourself you're just preparing, but you're really just delaying peace. The mind spins through every possibility, searching for control, but control is a mirage. You can't predict life into perfection. Every thought you overanalyze drains a little more of your energy, leaving you exhausted before the day even begins. Peace doesn't vanish. It gets buried beneath endless what-ifs. The truth is, you don't need all the answers to move forward. You just need enough faith to take the next breath. Thinking is useful. Worrying is noise pretending to be logic. The more you overthink, the less you feel. And the less you feel, the further you drift from yourself. The practice, training the mind to rest. Begin by noticing when your thoughts start circling the same problem. That's your cue to pause, not to solve, but to breathe. Write the thought down, then step away. Your mind will insist on staying, but your peace depends on leaving. Overthinking thrives on resistance. It weakens in acceptance. Say quietly, "I don't need to figure everything out right now." Let those words unclench your chest. Create small rituals of stillness, a walk without your phone, deep breaths before sleep, moments where silence is enough. The mind calms when it feels safe. And safety doesn't come from knowing every outcome. It comes from trusting you can handle whatever arrives. Peace begins not when your thoughts stop, but when they stop ruling you. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes. Picture your thoughts as clouds drifting through a blue sky. Some are dark, some light, but none are permanent. You are not the cloud, you are the sky. Now breathe and whisper softly, "I am the calm beneath my thoughts." Feel the spaciousness expand inside you. Each exhale clears the fog. Each inhale restores stillness. You don't need to chase thoughts, let them pass. The truth will remain after the noise fades. Overthinking solves nothing but steals everything. Your rest, your presence, your peace. So tonight before sleep, tell your mind, you've done enough for today. Let silence finish what thinking never could. And ask yourself, what would my life feel like if I trusted peace more than I trusted my fears? Chapter 7, Neglecting Rest. Ta. The meaning, when busyness becomes an identity. Somewhere along the way, we started confusing exhaustion with purpose. We began to wear fatigue like a badge of honor, proof that we're trying hard enough, doing enough, being enough. But constant motion isn't progress. Sometimes it's avoidance. The world glorifies productivity, but your soul glorifies peace. When you never rest, you forget who you are beneath the doing. Rest isn't laziness, it's maintenance for the mind and medicine for the soul. You can't pour from a dry heart or create from an anxious mind. Neglecting rest is not dedication. It's self-abandonment disguised as ambition. Peace doesn't come from working harder. It comes from remembering you're already whole, even when you pause. The practice, making rest a ritual, not a reward. Start by redefining rest as responsibility. You don't earn rest, you require it. Schedule quiet the same way you schedule work. Protect it with the same commitment. Unplug from screens, dim the lights, breathe deeply. Even 5 minutes of stillness can reset your nervous system and soften your thoughts. Take walks without music, eat slowly. Watch the sunset without photographing it. Let rest remind you that life doesn't collapse when you stop controlling it. The body restores, the mind clears, and the soul remembers. You were not created to live in permanent urgency. Every time you rest, you're telling your spirit, I trust the world enough to stop for a while. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes. Imagine lying down in a field under a vast, endless sky. The wind is gentle. The earth supports you effortlessly. There's nothing to fix, nothing to prove, only to breathe. Feel how your body begins to settle into silence. Whisper softly, rest is sacred. Let those words sink deep. Every breath becomes an act of faith, proof that even stillness can be productive. In this quiet, your heart recalibrates. Your mind remembers balance. You don't have to run to stay relevant. Peace often finds those who have finally stopped searching for it. Now breathe again, slower this time, and ask yourself, when was the last time I let life move without me trying to manage every moment of it? Chapter 8, Ignoring the Present Moment. The meaning, missing the only place peace exists. Peace is never lost in the future or the past. It's lost in the present we refuse to live in. You replay yesterday's regrets, anticipate tomorrow's problems, and call it preparation. But while your mind travels endlessly, your life quietly passes by unnoticed. The present moment is not ordinary, it's sacred. It's the only space where love, gratitude, and peace can truly exist. The Stoics called it amor fati, to love what is, not just what might be. When you ignore the present, you disconnect from the only thing that's real, now. Peace isn't hidden, it's happening. Right here, right in this breath. And every time you chase a moment other than this one, you trade the only reality you have for an illusion you'll never catch. The practice. Returning to the now. Presence is not passive. It's a discipline of attention. To live here, you must anchor yourself in awareness. Each morning, before reaching for your phone or your plans, pause. Notice your breath. Notice the warmth of your hands, the rhythm of your heart. That's life, unfiltered, unplanned, happening. Throughout the day, catch yourself drifting into worry or regret and gently whisper, "Come back." Even 5 conscious breaths can reset your nervous system and ground your mind. Walk slower. Listen fully. Look at people when they speak. Peace enters through awareness, not achievement. You don't need to escape the moment. You need to inhabit it. Because the more present you are, the less control the past and future have over you. The pause, a meditative reflection. Close your eyes. Imagine standing in the middle of a river, the current gentle, cool, constant. This river is time flowing endlessly. But here, where your feet touch the water, is the present. You can't hold yesterday's current, and you can't touch tomorrow's, only this one. Breathe deeply, listen. Everything you need already exists in this moment. Whisper softly, "Peace lives where I am." Feel how those words settle inside you like calm rain. This moment, this breath is enough. You are enough. And the more you honor the now, the more eternity reveals itself in every second. Ask yourself, how much life have I missed by waiting for a better moment than the one I'm already in? Your peace is your responsibility. Peace doesn't disappear. You trade it. You trade it for complaint, for distraction, for resentment, for approval. You trade it when you refuse to decide, when you overthink, when you exhaust yourself trying to earn worth that was never lost. And you trade it again each time you drift away from this moment, the only place peace ever truly lives. But now you know, peace is not found, it's protected. It grows when you choose silence over noise, gratitude over grievance, rest over rush, and presence over pressure. The world may try to steal your calm, but it can only take what you offer. Guard your peace as you would guard your breath, fiercely, faithfully, daily. Because every time you choose peace, you reclaim your power, and that power changes everything. So take one final deep breath and whisper softly, "My peace is mine to protect." Then ask yourself, how many moments of peace have I traded for things that never truly mattered?